Welcome, philosophy enthusiasts. We begin with a powerful quote from Socrates: "The unexamined life is not worth living." Now, what does this mean? At its core, it's an invitation to self-reflection. It's a call to question our beliefs, our values, and our actions. It's a challenge to dig deeper, to seek truth, to strive for understanding, rather than accepting things at face value. Socrates believed in the power of human reason, in the ability of each of us to think critically and to seek wisdom. His method of inquiry, known as the Socratic method, encouraged questioning and debate. It was a tool for examining not just the world around us but also the world within us. In essence, the unexamined life is a life lived on autopilot, a life devoid of purpose and understanding. So Socrates urges us to examine our lives, to question, to reason, and to seek truth. Our next Socratic gem states, "I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing." This statement may seem paradoxical at first glance. How does acknowledging one's ignorance equate to intelligence? Let's delve into the heart of this paradox, often referred to as the Socratic paradox. The essence of the Socratic paradox lies in recognizing our own limitations. It's about understanding that the scope of what we don't know is infinitely larger than what we do know. In other words, acknowledging our ignorance is not a sign of stupidity, but rather an indication of wisdom. This concept is central to Socrates' philosophical approach. Socrates believed that the first step towards wisdom is admitting our ignorance. It's about accepting that we don't have all the answers and that there is always more to learn. This acceptance opens the door to curiosity, exploration, and ultimately, growth. It's a humble recognition that our knowledge is limited, and that there are truths beyond our current understanding. The idea that recognizing our ignorance is a step towards wisdom might seem counterintuitive in a world where knowledge is often equated with power. However, Socrates challenges this notion by suggesting that the true power lies in understanding our limitations and continually striving to expand our horizons. This doesn't mean that we should be content with ignorance. On the contrary, it encourages us to seek knowledge and understanding. By acknowledging our ignorance, we open ourselves up to the possibility of gaining wisdom. We become more receptive to new ideas, perspectives, and experiences. So when Socrates says, "I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing," he's not promoting ignorance. Instead, he's emphasizing the importance of self-awareness and the pursuit of knowledge. He's encouraging us to embrace the unknown and to never stop learning. In a way, it's a call to action, a challenge to continually question, explore, and expand our understanding of the world around us. It's about the journey towards wisdom, and that journey begins with acknowledging our own ignorance. True wisdom, according to Socrates, comes from recognizing our own ignorance. Socrates once declared, "Virtue is the highest form of knowledge." This profound statement encapsulates the philosopher's belief in the intrinsic relationship between virtue and knowledge. A relationship that, according to Socrates, was so deeply intertwined that one could not exist without the other. Now, for Socrates, virtue wasn't just about being good because society told you to. Instead, it was about understanding the very nature of goodness itself. He believed that once you truly know what is good, you would naturally act in a virtuous manner. It's like knowing the stove is hot. You wouldn't willingly touch it because you know it would cause harm. Similarly, a person who truly understands the nature of good and evil would not willingly commit an immoral act. This brings us to another cornerstone of Socratic thought. The idea that no one knowingly does wrong sounds a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? But let's delve into this further. Socrates argued that when people do wrong, it's not because they want to be evil. Rather, it's because they are ignorant of the true nature of their actions. They may believe they are doing what's best, or they may not fully understand the consequences of their actions. In either case, it's a lack of knowledge that leads to immoral behavior. Conversely, if a person truly knows what is right, they would act accordingly. Therefore, immorality, in Socratic philosophy, stems from ignorance, not from a deliberate desire to do evil. This is why Socrates placed such a high value on knowledge and education. He saw them as the keys to a virtuous life, the guiding lights that illuminate the path to moral conduct. But it's important to remember that for Socrates, knowledge wasn't just about acquiring facts. It was about understanding, about wisdom. It was about digging deep, questioning assumptions, and striving to understand the world and our place within it. For Socrates, the path to a virtuous life is paved with knowledge. In his wisdom, Socrates noted, "The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. As we delve into the philosophical musings of Socrates, we find that change and improvement hold a prominent place. Socrates, a harbinger of wisdom, believed in the transformative power of change. He saw it as a gateway to improvement, a stepping stone to a better reality. But how does one navigate the turbulent waters of change? According to Socrates, the answer lies in constructive thinking and action. This profound quote by Socrates is a testament to his belief in the power of positive action. He urges us not to expend our energies battling the remnants of the past, but instead to channel it towards creating a new future. It's about letting go of what once was, to make room for what can be. This, Socrates believed, was the true essence of change. Socrates' philosophy encourages us to embrace change as an inevitable part of life. It's not about resisting or fearing it, but about understanding and harnessing its potential. He saw change as a catalyst for growth, a tool for self-improvement. It's about seeking wisdom in the unknown, about stepping out of our comfort zones and venturing into uncharted territories. Improvement, in Socrates' view, is the ultimate goal of change. It's the beacon that guides us through the fog of uncertainty. But improvement isn't just about personal growth. Socrates believed that as we better ourselves, we also better our society. So in a way, our personal improvement contributes to the betterment of humanity as a whole. In essence, Socrates' philosophy of change and improvement is about embracing the new, about harnessing the transformative power of change to create a better future. It's about using change as a tool for growth and improvement, about turning the unknown into a wellspring of wisdom. Socrates urges us to focus on building the new, to embrace change and growth. Finally, Socrates remarked, "To fear death, gentlemen, is no other than to think oneself wise when one is not, to think one knows what one does not know." In this stark statement, the ancient philosopher lays bare the paradox of fearing death. You see, death is the ultimate unknown, the final frontier that none of us can truly comprehend until we face it ourselves. It is a mystery cloaked in the shadows of uncertainty and the unknown. Yet, many of us fear it as though we understand it, as though we have some wisdom or knowledge about what it truly means. This, Socrates suggests, is a form of false wisdom, a pretense of understanding something we cannot possibly know. Socrates' perspective on death ties in neatly with his views on wisdom and knowledge. As he has said before, true wisdom lies in acknowledging our own ignorance. To fear death, then, is to falsely claim knowledge of it, to pretend we are wise when we are not. It is a direct contradiction to the principles of the examined life, which seeks to understand the world and ourselves without presumptions or false wisdom. But Socrates doesn't just critique our fear of death, he also offers a solution. He challenges us to face the unknown, not with fear, but with curiosity and a sense of inquiry. He encourages us to question, to seek, to explore, to live a life of constant learning and growth. If we do so, we may find that our fear of death diminishes because in a life well examined, there is no room for the fear of the unknown. Instead, there is only room for the pursuit of wisdom and knowledge. And so, Socrates challenges us to face the unknown, to cast aside fear, and to live a life of inquiry and wisdom. Because in the end, it's not death we should fear, but a life unexamined, a life lived in the shadow of false wisdom and unchallenged fears. In the words and wisdom of Socrates, we find a timeless call to self-examination, to the pursuit of knowledge, and to the embodiment of virtue. As we journeyed through the philosophical labyrinth of his mind, we encountered the idea that a life unexamined is not worth living, a profound reminder to scrutinize not only the world around us, but also our inner selves. We've delved into Socrates' belief in the paradoxical link between ignorance and wisdom, where admitting our ignorance is the first step towards wisdom. We've explored the intrinsic connection between virtue and knowledge, and how the pursuit of one invariably leads to the other. We've contemplated the power of constructive change and the potential for improvement it brings. And finally, we've faced the fear of death, a universal dread, which Socrates challenges us to question and overcome. As we part ways, remember Socrates' wisdom, question everything, seek knowledge, embrace virtue, and fear not the unknown. Until next time, keep philosophizing.